Okay, today we will be looking at synthetic division. Okay, this is normally how a synthetic division problem would be set up as a fraction. And the first step, when you see this, would be to draw an L. Like so. Okay, and now we want to take the inverse of this constant in the denominator. See here circled in red. So instead of -2, we would write +2 here. Okay, and our next step is to write the leading coefficients of each term in the top of the fraction, in the numerator. So in this case, it will be 2, 3, -5, and 6. And so the first process is to bring down the first term, 2, to the bottom of the L and write it like so. And so now we take this and multiply it by the 2 in the top left of the L, like this. So 2 times 2 gives us 4. And we'll write it in the next column under the 3. And now we add the 3 and the 4 together, which gives us 7. Now we do the same thing. We multiply the 7 by the 2, which gives us 14. And -5 plus 14 is 9. And so one last time, 9 times 2 is 18. And so 6 plus 18 gives us 24. Okay. So now we have all these numbers. What do we do with them? So now we plug this back in to a polynomial. So our original one starts with 2x cubed. So we know when we divide it, it's going to be 1 less. So it's going to start with x squared instead of x cubed. So let's write it out. So we know we'll start with x squared. So our first term here is 2. So we'll start with 2x squared. And now the next term is 7x. And now our constant plus 9. And so now what do we do with this 24? Well, this last row here will always be our remainder. So yes, the remainder is written like so. We'll go plus 24 over our denominator. And in this case, the denominator is x minus 2. So this is our final solution. Okay, thank you. Okay, for problem 2, I've already set up our L partially. So for our columns, we can see when we look at our numerator, we are missing an x cubed. So where is our x cubed? Well, we don't have one, so whenever we are writing our columns, we need to include an imaginary placeholder. So our columns would look like this. 1. Now, for where x cubed should be, we will have a 0 since we don't have an x cubed. Then -6 and 2. We'll bring our 1 down. 1 times -1 gives -1. Okay. So when we write this out, what will this give us? X squared minus x minus 5 plus 7 over x plus 1. Okay, a few rules to remember for synthetic division. So the last column gives a remainder. The degree of the quotient is 1 less than the dividend. So this means our answer, the first term, is going to be to the power 1 less than our original numerator. The denominator must be linear. Example, x plus or minus k. No x squared minus 3 or 2x plus 6. It must be x plus or minus k. And finally, write zeros for missing terms. Yeah, so synthetic division is pretty straightforward. It can be confusing at first, but once you do it a couple times, you'll get the hang of it without a doubt. Thank you for watching today's video, and I wish you great studying.